YouTube, what it do to Down Home News TV? I am Dre. Pretty sure a lot of people's heard by now comments Janet Jackson made towards Kamala Harrison, but get into an updated article that was posted maybe 14 hours ago or 9 hours ago from BuzzFeed News, and I got a TikTok video with implications of maybe part of the reason why Janet feels the way she feels towards Madam VP Kamala Harris. But let's get into this article from BuzzFeed. Mid backlash towards Janet Jackson's ignorant remarks about Kamala Harris's race, Whoopi Goldberg jumped to her defense. Janet Jackson is not a political animal, Whoopi said in response to a backlash over singer echoing false claims about Kamala Harris's race. Last week, Janet Jackson sparked backlash for her comments on Vice President Kamala Harris. During an interview with the British publication The Guardian, Janet said that she heard that Kamala is not black and that she is Indian. Oh, my nose. Oh, my nose. According to this article, it states Kamala is biracial. Her dad, Donald J. Harris, is black, and her mom, Shyamala Goplin Harris, is Indian. However, amid the run-up to the 2024 presidential election, former President Donald Trump falsely claimed that Kamala has only identified as Asian American until recently, stating that she happened to turn black and now she wants to be known as black. Sadly, right-wing conspiracy theorists have continued to run with the false claim, spreading misinformation. I'm not sure if I did a video on what Judge Joe Brown said about Kamala's heritage and race. I don't know if I did or not. I will look back and see, but if not, I'll do a video on what he stated about Kamala Harris. But just a little preview if I didn't. I think Judge Joe Brown stated that Kamala's father is, what is it? What's the word? What is the word? He is Indo-Caucasian. Yeah, Indo-Caucasian. Something like that. Indian Caucasian. But yeah, I'll go back and do a video on it. But continue on. When the interviewer informed Janet Jackson Kamala's biracial identity, the singer falsely stated her father is white. That's what I was told. I mean, I haven't watched news in a few days. I was told that her father was white. Indo-Caucasian, huh? Like Judge Joe Brown stated. Janet's comments were branded ignorant and disappointing by several internet users. And now Whoopi Goldberg has jumped to her defense. Whoopi interview co-hosts discussed Janet's remarks during a recent episode of the talk show, with commentator Anna Navarro quickly calling out the singer for spreading misinformation about Kamala's racial identity. How do they even know if he's black or not? Just because I heard Brian Anthony Logan, he made a good example of the statement, or the way they are swaying Kamala's father's ethnicity. I mean, I don't know. I know Candace Owens' video on the history of her family tree going back to her grandmother. But Like Brian Anthony Logan said. I hope I'm saying it right. If I'm not saying it right, y'all correct me, please. But Brian Anthony Logan, he was stating that just like an American, just because you're an American. Wait. I'm getting messed up. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. Give me a second. Let me think about this. He was stating that there's many cultures or ethnicities that live in Jamaica, and I know a lot of people probably think that when somebody says, "Hey, they're from Jamaica," you automatically assume probably they mean black, probably a little darker because they get more sunlight than most Americans, I would think. But they think black. I mean, that's what I thought when they stated he was from Jamaica. But just like any country, you have different ethnicities living there. And a perfect example is, I would say, would be Elon Musk. If you've never seen the guy before, you just heard the name Elon Musk, and you would say that he's African American because he technically is. You'd assume he's black, but no, he's white as snow. But yeah, I'm sorry. I go into tangents sometimes. I'm sorry. Let me continue. What she did was spread misinformation, Anna said. I think it's very irresponsible when you have the way Janet Jackson does to use a platform carelessly to spread misinformation based on racist allegations by Donald Trump. Eddie Griffin, I don't know if y'all watch his commentary, but he made a good point. I thought about this too as well. Fact checks the fact checkers. Who facts? Who fact checks the fact checkers? So an order basically comes down and they say, "This is the word. This is the prophecy. There, God, this is what's right, and nobody can deny it." That's the world we're living in nowadays, I guess. Welcome to the NWO, people. Speaking of that, I used to think about that when I used to watch wrestling and they had the Wolfpack and Hollywood Hulk Hogan and all that stuff. Do you think they was kind of getting us ready to what we was for, or I guess foreshadowing what was to come, trying to make it cool and trendy? And I know I was one of those NWO supporters back in the day. But let me get back to this article before I take up too much time. Sorry, people. Later on, Sonny Halston said it's unfortunate that Janet echoed false claims about Kamala's race while simultaneously admitting she hasn't been keeping up with the news. The news is not always correct, people, or the view. But yeah, that's basically it. I'm gonna get to this TikTok real quick. I know I wasted a bunch of time just blabbing. Let's check
like this can depend on the of the child accuser.
In general,
what's wrong with volume, people? I'm just all jacked up today. I'm sorry. Let's check it out.
Like this can depend on the testimony of the child accuser.
in general, the child will be able to recall and recollect with some detail the incident, and that is persuasive to a jury, even if it is the only testimony that is available.
Jackson gave a wave when he was released after booking. He's scheduled for arraignment in January.
Michael's been a long-time resident of Trump Tower, and last night the Donald strongly reiterated his defense of Jackson with Larry King by going after the accuser's mother.
She's had plenty of experience at going after people, and she goes after them viciously and violently, and I saw a story, and I read another story about some of the things she's done, and I don't believe it.
But you know what it's like when an indictment comes down.
It's tough.
It's presumption.
It's tough. It's tough to win, but I have a feeling he's going to win, Larry. The Interesting thing is I've known Michael from many different standpoints, and Michael would spend a lot of time with my kids. I have beautiful kids, and at the time, like at Mar-a-Lago, and even in Trump Tower, the kids were very young. Michael would come, play with the kid. He just loved children. He was not a child molester.
Like this can
Shout out to Let's Get Real 34 for the video. But I don't know, people. When it comes to Michael Jackson, something in my soul just tells me he's not a child toucher. I don't know. Something will not allow me to go with that narrative that he is. I don't know. I just don't see it. But as of recent, you see a lot of things coming out about other celebrities, so it's hard to say. But something in my bones will not let me agree with the narrative that Michael is a P word. I can't go for that. I don't know. But yeah. Do y'all think, well, I'm pretty sure that has a reason for not necessarily her comments, but if Janet does have bad blood towards Kamala Harris, maybe I'm pretty sure that would be a big reason why, because she was one of the people that led the indictments allegedly over his cases when it came to touching children. But like I said, I don't believe Michael Jackson ever did anything. There's stories on the internet, videos, documentaries of people actually, not them per se, interviewing people that was associated with some of the Michael Jackson trials as young actors, stating that Michael never did anything to him. But I think, what was his name? Aaron Carter. Before he passed, he said that his family members wanted um, him to say things like that about MJ, but I could be thinking of somebody else, but I'm pretty sure it's Aaron Carter. But I don't know, people. It's a weird world we're living in these days. And I'm just a squirrel trying to get my nut. Not in a sexual way, but, you know, just trying to make it. Down Home News TV, I'm Dre. Y'all have a good evening.